Hi. So, very often when you join any kind of training, the host or the trainer or the coach, they spend a lot of time initially explaining who they are and why they have a right to tell you what they want to tell you and how great they are and what their background is. I have not done that, and I don't ever want to do that. That is not my intention. My intention is to provide valuable information that will help you get where you need to go and help you and the Lord connect in a way that allows you to do business with him at a higher level. But it occurred to me that perhaps some of you have never met me before and might be wondering a little bit about the context and how I've gotten to where I am today and the things that I've learned and where this stuff comes from. So, I'm going to take a few minutes and give you some background about me and who I am and how I get to be the business coach for fiber folks. It's been a little bit of a journey, but in a nutshell, academically, I have a bachelor's degree in finance and a master's degree in human resource development. So I've studied both the financial end of business and have also studied training, organizational development, and career development academically. And I spent decades in corporate space in everything from a private golf club to assistant city administrator to a museum and was always in the business office for most of these places. I even did a stint as a business administrator for a church for a while. What I learned in corporate was that no matter what environment that I'm in, that I'm going to always end up coaching and helping people become who they want to be, become who they are designed to be. So it's one of those things. I joke that why am I coach? Because I can't not. I have learned that this is something that the Lord has gifted me to be able to do, to be able to see how different pieces fit together and to be able to help other people in that respect. Um, how do I end up in the fiber space? Well, back in 2006, even, um, I got 5 acres of land, moved into a 5-acre farm, and decided that meant animals, and long story short, alpacas came into my world, and so my husband and myself and my son and our family had, alpacas, and we ended up running alpacas on a 25-acre alpaca ranch, for about 10 years. We founded a nonprofit at that point called Alpacas for Autism. My son is on the autism spectrum, and what I was learning was that people with autism make amazing things, but didn't have the skill set to do the sales and marketing associated with it. And so we ended up founding a nonprofit to try and serve that space. Fast forward, that nonprofit has been closed. Essentially, it's very difficult to do everything that you're called to do all at once, and sometimes the Lord does some pruning, and that was something that got pruned out of our world. But I spent many years doing lots and lots of live events, doing lots and lots of farm tours, doing events at different venues. I crochet and creating products and shearing and all of that wonderful stuff. What I found was that the fiber arts industry is amazing. And what typically happens is we get into business by accident. And I started as a full time coach when I discovered a weight loss program and there was a coaching component with it. And so I was coaching in weight loss. And what ended up happening was we were talking business, we were talking all the mindset stuff around it. And so God has a way of taking all of these disparate pieces of your life and bringing them together. In 2014, I published a book called Coming Home to Joy, wrote the story of my life, wrote a devotional, and you've seen some of that with the daily prayers, the 30 Days to Joy prayer. I had no idea. I had spent most of my life struggling with depression and suicidal thoughts and thought this was just the best that life could have. And this was my lot in life. And I had no idea as I walked through the book that I was going to have a healing encounter with the Lord, who that also set me on a journey of saving my life from depression. So when you hear me say, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, I've been through a lot of that same stuff. And throughout all of this, the theme that I have discovered is that it's not just people with autism, it's everyone has unique gifting, has talents, has amazing things that they can bring to the marketplace. And sales and marketing is where everybody gets stuck. And so in the last 5 years or so, I've really leaned into the sales and marketing space and following God in his directive of what he wants me to do and help people break through that so that they can be fully who they're called to be, that they can embrace sales and marketing and come together to encourage each other to grow in a place that I didn't know existed. I spent many, many years thinking that I could just figure out a way to be somebody that I wasn't. And if I could just figure that out and figure out the magic bullet to this business stuff, everything would be amazing. And you know what I discovered is the magic bullet is to be you, to lean into God and be who he called you to be, and then open the door to connect with other people. So that's my background and my story. The Golden Heartland Academy was launched in the middle of COVID. Um, I had been coaching and building mastermind groups. And when COVID happened, we were able to take a step back and say, what are you doing? Are you going to focus on what God's called you to do? And what the Lord said is, I want you to build a community. I was kind of whining and saying, where is the community for the rest of us? Anytime I could find the place where you could be fully business and fully faith at the same time, it was thousands of dollars a month. And you had to be, a six-figure entrepreneur in order to even get qualified to apply. And he said, guess what you're doing? You're going to create community for people that allows them to connect with each other and learn and grow. And that is what I do now. I live on 14 acres in Nevada, Missouri, south of Kansas City now. And we do not have alpacas. We do not have livestock at this point because I am completely focused on coaching and helping women, particularly, learn how to sell what they make without having to be salesy and without having to compromise your faith. So I hope this gives you a little bit of my background. I'm open to questions, comments, any thoughts. But just wanted to give you a little bit peek behind the curtain, and I hope you're enjoying the training.